I'm speaking with Jaden Horan, who works for CURE, the Center for Urban Renewal and Education based in Washington, D.C. That is Star Parker's organization. Jaden, you are right in the middle of Ferguson, right in the middle of the protests. You were just threatened. Can you tell us what happened?
Clinton, you're breaking up a bit, but that is correct. I was just threatened at the location I was at. I was parked directly across from the location of the shooting last night, and protesters came up to my vehicle. They requested that I leave. I told them, of course, that I was just there to document the truth, the veracity of what was going on, and they came back later and told me that if I did not leave, then they couldn't guarantee my safety. They came back a third time and told me that if I did not leave, they would take the vehicle. So I heeded their threats, and I backed away. I am a safe distance, but the crowd is moving. They are moving up and down the street. They just passed me, and a whole bunch of protesters once again passed my vehicle. It appears that they are being led by an individual with a megaphone who is not allowing the crowd to calm. This individual is chanting "F the police." Every time a protester attempts to leave the group, he calls them a coward, and he's encouraging them to take a robust stance against the police officers who took out riot gear. He said there was no riot happening, and they were inciting one. And on a more concerning note, the location I retreated back to is appearing to be a massing ground for some of the protesters, and I watched as they poured bottles of alcohol into their otherwise seemingly innocuous water bottles, and that does not bode well for later in the night as tensions continue to grow.
How many people do you think have amassed in the area?
It's hard to hold count now because the separation between protester and onlooker appears to be blurring. Many onlookers are temporarily joining the protest and then walking back from it. I would say there are onlookers ranging between 50 to 100 on one side of the road, and on the other side of the road where the police officers are, there's about 50, maybe a handful, 20 to 30 on either side of that. So, I would definitely say we have onlookers numbering about as many as the protesters.
So this area has become the central area for the protests. How many police do you think are in the area?
This area is boiling. Tensions are very high. The media has been backing away from the central area of the protesters. Many of them are wearing facial coverings, Clint. I would imagine it's because they anticipate the utilization of tear gas, and they have medical masks, they have handkerchiefs, they have shirts, and some of them have full face masks and gas masks that have been dispersed around the crowd. These protesters are clearly prepared. They are clearly prepared for the inevitable, that sometime later tonight it could turn violent, and the police will use force to disperse them, and they are prepared for that eventuality. One thing I have noticed is it appears that cell service in Ferguson has deteriorated throughout the night. I would imagine it's due to the high use of data on hundreds of people's phones as they sit here watch, those that are participating in the protest themselves, and the people that are driving by.
Well, then we're lucky that we can get through to you. Are you in a safe location? You said that the protesters are actually behind the buildings as well.
Again, you're breaking up, Clint, but I will say that I believe right now I'm at a safe distance from the protest. It appears that they are massing on one side of the street, and it is continuing to grow. Like I said, the tone of the protest is getting stronger, and and we will see what happens from there.
Well, we're going to check in with you later. I want you to stay safe and keep us informed, okay?
Okay, Clint.